checks as well, because actually, as most EV aficionados will know, batteries will outlast combustion engines, but that awareness isn't out in the public. So On EV is a new launch here today, part of the Volkswagen Group, that's helping to communicate some of those key elements. But anyway, back to Skoda. Great to see you here. You're going to reveal something that's not been revealed in Australia at all, so I'll hand over to you, Dan. Microphone nice and close to your mouth, if that's okay.
Well, good morning everyone, and welcome to the Volkswagen Group Australia presence here at Everything Electric Sydney. Before we unveil this stunning car beside me, we'd like to just make 3 key points, particularly for those of you who are new to the Volkswagen Group and its presence in the BEV sector. Obviously, you just heard from Audi there. But what really binds together our group brands, whether it be Audi, Volkswagen, Skoda or Cupra, is European engineering. And now as we move from the early adopter phase of EV ownership to mass market, that is more important than ever. We know that BEVs work in the city, but our European engineering means in this great big country, it also works for mum, dad and the kids when they go and visit Nana and Pop in the country as well. And when you drive these vehicles, you will really feel that. Whether it be the suspension tuning or the tuning of driver assistance systems to be unobtrusive yet secure. That's one key element that binds these vehicles you see here on the stand together. The newest member to the family, the all-new Skoda Elroq. Now the model you see here is what we anticipate will be a highly specified launch edition of the Elroq. 210 kilowatts of power and 0 to 100 in 6.6 seconds. The model you see here on display is fully specified. So what this does is bring medium SUV ownership for Skoda into the electric vehicle space.
Really looking forward to this one, the green machine. Enyaq, highly rated amongst people that know their EVs. I actually prefer the old design. I'm not a big fan of the new fake headlights. I like the old school design. This is the RS model, dual motor, 250 kilowatts. Not sure of the battery, but it's a magnificent looking car, heaps of space, very slick and smart. And I like the colour actually. Green is a favourite colour of mine, so very nice indeed. And it has a 7-year warranty, so that's impressive. Super cool. Alright, so nice car.
This is my first time out in this, so I hope you know more about it than I do.
Alright, here we are. So something that's a bit interesting for the Skoda, unlike other VWs, it actually has a shifter in the centre. So that's the same as my Polestar has a shifter there. Normally the VWs have the shifter up here, but this one has a shifter down there. Anything else you can tell me about it?
That's about it.
It has an instrument cluster out there, which for me is a deal breaker. It definitely needs that. I don't like having no cluster in front of me. I'm not sure if it has a HUD. It might have a HUD because it's got a little divot down there. It's got a nice horizontal screen, sorry. So we'll see how that goes as we're driving. We better put it in gear and get out of here because there's cars waiting.
Yep, can do. Done.
Alright, here we are in the Skoda Enyaq RS. So this is the real spicy one, 250 kilowatts. Typical VW, really good quality. The VW does not do one pedal. They have one pedal light, which is the B mode. So yeah, that is something that I would prefer, the one pedal. It does have a nice instrument cluster. It's recessed right here in the thing there, which is interesting. Yeah, I quite like that actually. Having an instrument cluster is a deal breaker for me, as I've mentioned many times. Yeah, it goes very nicely, obviously, because it's 250 kilowatts.
Can I just ease out of the throttle?
Yep.
It is one pedal. It's getting a bit of a breakerage,
yeah, so we'll do it.
Not as much as the Buzz, for example.
Right. Yeah. So my Polestar will come to a complete stop, and you can turn the creep on and off. But yeah, it does have regen braking, so all EVs basically do. Just the level of some of them. Now we're going to test the one pedal. So here we go. Yeah, so it's stronger one pedal than the Buzz and the Cupra and the IDX, but it still creeps. But yeah, that's actually, I'm glad that you pointed that out. So it does have quite strong one pedal. Can't test the mapping because I can't work out how to put the maps on, but it's a nice big vertical screen. We actually also have a HUD. Yeah, the mapping, you can do it that way. The mapping, all the cars, often a lot of cars, they just want you to use CarPlay, which is fine. My Polestar has inbuilt Google mapping, which is really good, but there are some actual physical buttons here, which a lot of people like. I like that. I don't like having the complete no button. So just next to us there, we had a BYD Dolphin spin the wheels, which is funny because that's like one of the least powered cars. So that person must have had their foot way down to have been able to do that.
Definitely, because usually traction control picks that up very quickly.
Yeah, so I don't even think BYD Dolphin has a sport mode, but anyway, that's kind of funny. So, all right, I'm liking the Enyaq. Great car, very nice. Going straight.
Thank you.
They turned them, so maybe they're not.
Right, and it cleaned the headlights, not the windscreen.
So there we go, spraying it. It did something weird before, where it was spraying something on the front.
It makes me think it's got a washer down on the headlights.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the red one goes on there.
That's handbrake. Oh, that's Mark Park. Sorry.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
All right, very happy with that. The Enyaq, very good reputation, and I can see why. And because it's a big old beast, plenty of space in the back there, and it's a hatchback like a coupe, just like my Polestar. Has a lovely sunroof. Is there shade on the sunroof? I'm not sure. You can probably get an aftermarket one. It does have shade on the roof, does it?
I think it does.
Yeah. The ID Buzz did. Actually, the ID Buzz was chromatic. Like, it was really cool. It changed.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. Good job. Test number 14 or 15. I'm losing count now. Actually, no. I'm doing 15 in total. So, yeah. I'm losing count now. I think this is test drive number 10. This is the Cupra Born. This was actually on the list of what I was going to get. It was one of the first EVs available in Australia before a lot of the other ones. So, and it's a VW, basically ID3 rebadged as a Cupra. A bit more sporty styling. I do like the styling, and obviously I like VW products. So yeah, this will be a nice one to test. I think it's the upgrade, but I need to research that. So we're going to hop in with the test driver and give it a go. Alright, so we're sitting in the Born. This is the upgraded one, so they've upgraded the infotainment, a larger screen. People like to hate on the haptics. I don't really mind it that much. It has an instrument cluster, which is nice, and yeah, just typical VW quality and everything like that in it. This was actually high on my list of getting because it was around right when I bought my car, so yeah, we'll give it a go. Do you know how many kilowatts this is?
The battery?
So kilowatts is the power.
170 kilowatts.
It's 170 kilowatts, and then you've got choice of 2 batteries.
Yeah, I'm not sure which. I think this has the smaller battery. I'm shooting
Right.
for the range. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, 404 kilometers at 96, so not too bad. Generally, if you've got 400 Ks, you want about 400 Ks if you're road tripping, because that gets you to the next charger if the one's broken. So
I think the other one's sitting at like 550 Ks
all
with
right,
about the
so
same charge.
bigger battery, maybe about 70 or something like that. I think Volkswagen often have 72 kilowatt hour batteries on a lot of their products. So all right, we're in the Born, a nice red one. So this is the slightly smaller battery. You told me the kilowatts, didn't you?
170.
170 kilowatts, so a little bit less than my Polestar, but it is a smaller car, so it'd be fairly zippy. It's stuck behind the buzz, otherwise I'd give it a little boost, but we'll probably do that at a light. Like now. It's not beeping at me, which is good. All the Chinese cars beep a bit, so this one doesn't beep. That's a bonus. We're going to turn left after this, aren't we?
Yeah, eventually we'll go left, yeah.
And yeah, I like it. So this is basically an ID3, and the build quality is very nice, and it's got a nice instrument cluster, got a big infotainment screen. I don't know about the mapping, whether that's been fixed up a little bit. I'm sure they've worked on it. I don't actually mind the haptics, what everybody goes on about. So it is kind of like a sporty, it's rear wheel drive. It's known for being a bit of a sporty hot hatch, I guess they call them in the old school. But yeah, this is quite a nice little car, and I would not mind owning it and driving it. So yeah, it's got quite a nice pickup there. Just seems to work quite nicely. Alright, that was quite nice. It doesn't have infotainment, well, it doesn't have mapping in the infotainment, which is a bit of a worry. Well, not a worry, it's just, yeah, you want to expect that. Has the nice Cupra copper tones, very nice quality, just an ID3 with a bit of splash of colour and with some nice ambient lighting there. But I'd be happy for this on the daily. It's nice and sporty, which is what I like, so alright. Getting there towards the end, only 2 or 3 more left to go. Good job.